Listen to me. I know what it feels like to be down. I know what it feels like when you've given everything you had and it still wasn't enough. I know what it feels like to look around and not see a single light in the darkness, no support, no resources, no way out. I've been there, but I'm telling you right now, losing hope doesn't mean you've lost a fight. You're tired? Good. That means you've been working. You feel empty? Good. That means you've been pouring yourself into something. You feel broken? Good. Because diamonds don't shine until they've been crushed. Gold don't get its shine until it's been through fire. So if you feel like you're being tested, understand this. Only the strong are tested like this. Don't get it twisted. This pain, this pressure, it's not punishment. It's preparation. It's shaping you into the version of you that can carry the weight of your destiny. You wanted to live a regular life? Then you wouldn't be facing what you're facing. But if you want to do something extraordinary, then expect extraordinary resistance. Let me be real with you. Some of y'all are waiting for the world to throw you a lifeline. You're praying for someone to save you. But let me tell you something. You are the lifeline. You are the hero. You are the rescue. You are the plan. When you lose all hope, that's not the end. That's the beginning. That's the moment where you stop depending on feelings and start depending on discipline. That's where you stop looking for motivation and start living off commitment. That's when you decide, not feel, not wish, but decide that no matter how dark it gets, you're going to find a way to keep moving forward. I don't care if you've got to crawl. I don't care if you got to cry while you do it. I don't care if no one claps for you, no one believes in you, no one supports you. You get up, you keep pushing, you keep fighting, because if you quit now, you'll never know how close you were to your breakthrough. Let me ask you something. What's on the other side of this pain? What's on the other side of this valley? You ever think about that? You've come too far to stop now. You've sacrificed too much to give up now. You owe it to yourself, to your future, to your family, to rise up. Hope might leave, but grit never does. Dreams might feel distant, but grind brings them close. So the next time you lose hope, don't panic, don't break, don't run. Build with tears in your eyes and fire in your belly. Build with your last breath if you have to. Because on the other side of this storm, you'll meet the version of you that was worth every ounce of the struggle. And when you see them, you'll thank the pain, you'll thank the dark, you'll thank the fire, because it didn't destroy you. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Most people run from pain. They see it as a sign that something is wrong, that life is unfair, that they've been forgotten or forsaken. But pain isn't your enemy. Pain is a signal. It's the world's way of putting you through the fire to see if you're really serious about what you said you wanted. Anybody can talk about a dream. Anybody can post a quote or a goal online. But when the pain hits, that's when we see who's for real. The mistake so many people make is thinking that pain is something to be avoided. They treat it like a setback, like something that means they've done something wrong. But pain is not a punishment. It's preparation. It's the gym for your character. It's the weight room for your will. It's the classroom where champions are made. You don't grow in comfort. You don't become great in ease. You become great through resistance, through pressure, through trials. When you're in pain, life is asking you one question: how bad do you want it? You say you want success, pain will test that. You say you want to change your life, pain is going to show up to see if you're committed or just curious. The grind doesn't reward those who try, it rewards those who endure, who stay in the fight even when everything in them is screaming to quit. When you go through the fire and keep moving, when you lose people, when you get betrayed, when the doors close and the money dries up and your heart breaks and you still keep showing up, that's not failure. That's foundation. You're being built. You're being forged. You're being prepared. Some of you keep asking for strength, but you don't want the struggle that builds it. You ask for wisdom, but you don't want the mistakes that teach it. You want faith, but you avoid the storms that demand it. You want victory, but you hate the battle. It doesn't work like that. The road to everything meaningful in life is paved with pain, with rejection, with setbacks, with silence. And if you interpret that as punishment, you'll give up every time it gets hard. But if you understand that it's preparation, you'll walk through the fire with a different mindset. You'll stop asking, why me, and start saying, try me. You don't build a legacy without going through some things. You don't grow strong in the spotlight. You grow in the shadows, in the silence, in the nights when no one sees you crying, in the mornings when you don't feel like getting up, but you do it anyway, in the moments when hope is gone and you show up because you said you would. That's the kind of preparation pain brings. It strips away the fake. It reveals what's real. It breaks the weak habits, the weak mindsets, and forces you to build something stronger in its place. Some of the most successful people you admire, they weren't given anything. They earned it in the trenches. They learned it in the storms. They were laughed at, doubted, overlooked, and told they'd never make it. And that pain, it didn't stop them. It made them. It didn't hold them back. It built the hunger that pushed them forward. You've got to flip the switch in your mind. You've got to start seeing pain, not as a curse, but as a calling. If life is allowing you to go through it, it's because there's something on the other side worth fighting for. There's a version of you on the other side of that pain that can handle things this version of you can't even dream about. Pain sharpens, pain humbles, pain teaches. Every scar has a lesson in it. Every loss has wisdom in it. Every tear waters the ground your future will grow from. Stop resisting the process. Stop thinking life is against you just because it's hard. Stop confusing struggle with failure. Diamonds don't come out of the dirt shining. They come out under pressure. Gold doesn't come out glowing. It comes out of the fire. And you're being refined. You're being tested, not to break you, but to bless you with strength. Pain is not the end of the story. It's the part that gets you ready. Discipline over feelings. Feelings are fleeting. 1 minute you're fired up, the next you're drained. One moment you're motivated, ready to conquer the world, and the next you're curled up, questioning why you even started. That's what feelings do. They fluctuate. They shift with the wind. They follow your mood, your circumstances, your surroundings. But discipline is stable. Discipline is steady. Discipline shows up no matter what. People talk about motivation like it's the key to success. Motivation is nice, but it's soft. It can't be trusted. You're not always going to feel like doing what needs to be done. In fact, most of the time you won't. You won't feel like waking up early, putting in the reps, staying late, turning off the distractions, or grinding through the boring, painful, repetitive work that greatness requires. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is what carries you when your feelings abandon you. Too many people wait until they feel like it. That's the problem. They think the right time is when it feels right. But the truth is, if you only move when it feels good, you'll never get anywhere worth going. You'll never finish what you start. You'll never outwork the competition, never outlast the struggle, never become the person you say you want to be. The real ones, they move regardless. They work through fatigue. They grind through frustration. They keep going when they're disappointed, discouraged, disrespected. That's discipline. Discipline is when you make a decision, a real decision, and you build your actions around that decision, not your emotions. It's when your commitment outweighs your mood. You don't train because you feel like an athlete today. You train because you are one. You don't write, study, practice, lead, create only when you're inspired. You do it because it's what you were called to do, because you made a promise to yourself and you respect yourself enough to keep it. The people who win in life aren't always the most talented, the smartest, or the most gifted. They're the most consistent. And consistency only happens when discipline is in control, not emotion. You don't get consistent results from inconsistent effort. You don't get to the top with one good day, one strong week, or one burst of motivation. You get there brick by brick, day by day, with discipline laying every single one of them. There are going to be days where everything in you wants to quit, where you're tired, angry, discouraged, maybe even heartbroken. But if you let those feelings dictate your actions, you'll stay stuck. Discipline tells you to push through. It tells you the mission is bigger than the mood. The vision is worth more than the vibe. The goal matters more than how you feel in the moment. Most people give up not because they lack ability, but because they lack control. They let their feelings sit in the driver's seat and wonder why they keep crashing. You've got to take the wheel. You've got to say, I don't care how I feel, I'm doing what I said I'd do. That's where power is. That's where transformation lives. That's how you separate yourself from the crowd. The world is full of people who started strong, who had dreams, who got excited, who talked big, but when things got uncomfortable, when it got boring, when it got hard, they fell off. They disappeared because they were depending on emotion. But the ones who kept going, the ones who finished the race, the ones who made it, they weren't led by feeling. They were led by discipline. They didn't need hype. They didn't need applause. They needed a reason, a purpose, and a plan. And they followed it every single day, whether it felt good or not. Discipline doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It creates the moment. It doesn't beg for energy. It generates it through action. It doesn't seek comfort. It embraces discomfort because it knows that's where growth lives. Discipline isn't flashy. It's not exciting. It's not emotional. It's not loud, but it's undefeated. It wins where talent burns out. It stands when motivation walks away. It shows up when nothing else will. There comes a point in life where you've got to stop waiting for someone to save you, waiting for someone to see you, waiting for someone to believe in you, waiting for the perfect timing, waiting for the right opportunity. That waiting game is a trap because while you're standing still, life keeps moving. And the truth is, no one is coming. Not your friends, not your family, not a mentor, not luck, not a miracle. You have to realize that you are the only one who can truly pull yourself out of where you are. It's a hard truth, but it's a powerful one because once you accept that you are your own rescue, you stop giving away your power. You stop blaming other people for your pain. You stop depending on things outside of you to change what's going on inside you. It means that you stop making excuses and start making progress. You stop pointing fingers and start taking ownership. You stop asking why life is so hard and start asking what you're going to do about it. Nobody else is living your life. Nobody else has your dreams. Nobody else feels what you feel at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep, when the doubts are loud, when the fear creeps in. So why would you wait for someone else to fix what they can't even see? People can encourage you. People can support you, but they can't climb the mountain for you. They can't heal your wounds. They can't fight your battles. That's on you. You've got to look in the mirror and say, if I don't save me, nobody will. Some people spend their whole life searching for someone to rescue them, thinking that a relationship, a job, a lucky break, or a handout is going to change everything. But even if you got it, even if someone gave you the opportunity, you wouldn't be able to hold on to it if you didn't build the strength within yourself first. Rescue starts on the inside. It's a mindset. It's a decision. It's you refusing to stay where you are, refusing to let life happen to you and choosing to take the wheel and drive forward no matter how hard the road is. There's nothing wrong with needing help, but help is not the same as rescue. Help is support, not salvation. Rescue means somebody else takes over. Help means you're still in charge. You're still responsible. You can ask for guidance. You can ask for resources. But at the end of the day, you've got to be the one to show up. You've got to be the one to do the work. You've got to be the one to believe in the vision when nobody else sees it, because no one else can feel the fire you've got inside. No one else can carry your calling. The most powerful thing you can do is stop waiting and start moving. You may not have all the answers. You may not know what the next 5 steps look like, but you've got to take the first one. You've got to start showing yourself that you can be counted on, that you don't quit, that you don't run, that when life gets ugly, when it gets real, when it gets lonely, you still stand, you still fight, you still climb. That kind of inner power doesn't come from outside validation. It doesn't come from other people's applause. It comes from choosing over and over to rescue yourself when everything tells you to give up. You've already survived things you thought would break you. You've already made it through moments you didn't think you'd come back from. So what makes you think you're not capable now? You don't need a savior. You need to wake up the part of you that already knows how to rise. You need to take the wheel back from fear, from doubt, from procrastination, from victimhood. You've got to stand in the mess and say, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm not staying here. That's what taking responsibility looks like. That's what becoming your own rescue looks like. There's something powerful about no longer waiting for anyone's permission to move forward. There's something unstoppable about a person who realizes they don't need to be rescued because they've become the one doing the saving. When you start showing up for yourself like that, everything changes. The world starts responding to you differently because you're moving with ownership. You're not begging for breakthroughs. You're building them. You're not praying for the pain to disappear. You're growing stronger inside it. Dreams don't work unless you do. That's the part they don't post on social media. That's the part nobody claps for. The early mornings, the late nights, the missed parties, the silence, the sacrifices. People want the dream, but they don't want the discipline. They want the vision, but they don't want the volume of work it takes to get there. They want the outcome, but not the process. But here's the truth. It's the grind that brings those dreams closer every single day. There's no shortcut. There's no hack. There's no 7-step program that can replace the hours you've got to put in when no one's watching. That's where the dream starts to move, not in the big moments, but in the small, consistent ones. The grind is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. You can write the goal down, you can visualize it, you can speak affirmations over it, but if you're not willing to outwork the next person, that dream stays exactly where it is, a fantasy. The grind is dirty, it's uncomfortable, it doesn't feel good, it's repetitive, it's lonely, but that's where champions are made. That's where the separation happens. Not in the spotlight, but in the dark. While others are sleeping, you're working. While others are partying, you're training. While others are relaxing, you're refining. Because you understand that the grind doesn't just move you forward, it transforms you. Every time you show up, you're not just getting closer to the dream, you're becoming the person capable of handling it. People forget that a dream isn't just something you achieve. It's something you grow into. You can't take shortcuts to something you're not strong enough to carry. The grind develops that strength. The grind teaches discipline, builds resilience, forces you to focus, to prioritize, to grow in ways comfort never will. You learn how to lead yourself. You learn how to keep going when it's not working. You learn how to silence the doubt with action. And every rep, every hour, every step, it all counts, is never wasted. Most people stop when it gets hard. They think difficulty is a sign that maybe it's not meant to be. But real grinders know that difficulty is confirmation. Confirmation that you're pushing limits. Confirmation that you're building something worth having. If it's easy, it won't last. If it's hard, it's probably worth it. The grind is the price. And if you're not willing to pay that price, don't expect the reward. You've got to be okay with not being understood. You've got to be okay with being different. When you're chasing a dream, people won't always get it. They'll think you're too focused, too intense, too obsessed. But obsession is what separates the average from the excess. The grind isn't about balance. It's about hunger. It's about pushing yourself beyond what's comfortable because you see something no one else can. You've got a vision and you refuse to let it die. Nobody hands you greatness. You've got to take it. You've got to show life you're serious, that you're not playing, that you're willing to suffer now so you can celebrate later. That's what the grind is. It's the down payment on the life you want. Every hour of work is a step forward. Every time you say no to distractions, you say yes to your destiny. Every time you choose effort over excuses, you close the gap between you and the dream. The dream doesn't chase you back. You've got to go get it. You've got to wake up every day with the mindset that it won't happen unless you make it happen. No one's going to carry you there. No one's going to open the door just because you want it bad. Wanting it isn't enough. Wishing isn't enough. Even talent isn't enough. The grind is the difference. That daily effort, that consistent commitment, that fire that says, I'm going to show up even when it hurts, even when it's slow, even when it doesn't look like it's working. The grind has no guarantees. Just because you work hard doesn't mean it'll come fast. But if you don't grind, you guarantee it'll never come at all. Every time you choose to show up, you shift the odds. Every time you keep pushing, you plant seeds. You may not see the result today or tomorrow or next month, but it's building, it's moving, it's real. And one day, all those quiet hours, all those early mornings, all those lonely nights, they'll echo back as the dream that finally showed up because you never stopped chasing it. Most people fear the storm. They look at chaos, pressure, uncertainty, and pain as things that are out to ruin them. They see struggle as the end. But what they don't understand is that the storm isn't there to break you. It's there to build you. It's there to strip away everything that doesn't serve you, to show you what's real, to test your foundation. The storm isn't your enemy, it's your trainer. It doesn't show up to destroy what's valuable, it shows up to expose what's weak. When everything in your life feels like it's falling apart, that's when the truth comes out. That's when the mask comes off. That's when the people who said they ride with you suddenly disappear. That's when your excuses get louder. That's when your habits get tested. That's when the version of you that talks about the vision meets the version of you that has to grind for it. The storm doesn't lie. It reveals. It shows you who you are and what you really believe. You don't know what kind of strength you have until the storm shows up. You don't know the power in your spirit until the pressure turns up. When everything is going well, it's easy to believe, easy to stay focused, easy to keep smiling. But the storm takes away comfort. The storm removes the applause. The storm silences the crowd. And now it's just you and your will, you and your mindset, you and your decision to either fold or fight. And some people fold, they crumble because they were only committed as long as it was easy. But if you want to build something that lasts, you've got to go through the storm. You've got to be tested. You've got to be pushed. You've got to be challenged because storms don't destroy people. Storms expose weaknesses so you can fix them. Storms show you what needs to be strengthened, what needs to be let go of, what needs to be rebuilt. Pressure builds champions. Wind strengthens roots. Fire purifies gold. The storm is doing the same thing for you. It's refining your perspective. It's teaching you to let go of control. It's developing patience, humility, courage. It's sharpening your focus. It's training you to stop depending on things and people and titles and recognition. It's pushing you to dig deeper into who you are. Not who you pretend to be, not who you wish you were, but who you really are when everything else is stripped away. And when you make it through the storm, you come out different. You come out harder to shake. You come out clearer, wiser, stronger. You don't panic over things that used to shake you. You don't fold over situations that used to paralyze you, because now you've got evidence. Now you know that you didn't just survive it, you grew in it. You were refined in it. It sharpened you. It humbled you. It gave you clarity. You learned how to pray in the dark, how to hustle in silence, how to breathe through pressure, how to keep moving when there's no map and no crowd and no comfort. Everybody wants peace, but nobody wants the storm that teaches you how to hold peace when everything's out of control. Everybody wants strength, but nobody wants the struggle that teaches you how to find it. You can't avoid the storm if you want to reach the next level. You can't skip it. You can't buy your way out of it. You can't fake your way through it. The storm is where you earn it, where you become it. The storm is the part where the weak quit and the committed rise. You can't lead without being tested. You can't teach without being broken. You can't stand for something if you've never had to fight for it. You can't stand for something if you've never had to fight for it. So when a storm comes, stop asking why it's happening to you and start asking what is developing in you. Every great person you admire, every story of resilience you look up to, every champion you cheer for, they all had to go through their own storm. And what made them great wasn't just what they accomplished, it was what they became in the fire, in the pressure, in the chaos. The storm showed them who they were and gave them the tools to become who they were meant to be.